Hey, so it's been a while since I last uploaded, and I was kind of trying to decide what I would make a video on, and I just decided to settle on a video idea I'd had for a while, which is playing Steelsoul mode of Hollow Knight. I'd thought about making like a whole playthrough of Hollow Knight, a YouTube series, but I played through Hollow Knight normally, just for myself. Because I mean, not every game I play has to be a video. I can have some stuff just for me, and I kind of wanted just like a normal run through of the game to be for me. So I didn't want to have to feel like, forced to talk over it or anything. But now that I've beaten the game and I'm kind of grinding my way to full completion with the God Home stuff, I thought I might as well try out Steelsoul mode, and I thought this would be a good video series to make on because I've gotten so good at this game, knock on wood, that I can just sort of talk over it, say whatever comes to my mind, without really having to worry about playing the game. But something different. My friends who are probably watching this, which, by the way, thank you, friends, for putting up with my my insistence on trying to make my way on YouTube, and for any of the people who are, I can't believe that happened, for any of the people who aren't my friends, who are returning watchers, thank you also. Something you might notice is that I don't have my face cam up, which, the reason for that is I wanted to experiment, sort of try out face cam less content. Like, of course I'm gonna still be making videos with face cam, and I might make more without. I'm experimenting. I'm early enough in my YouTube career, if you can call it that, to where I feel like I can just kind of experiment, see what I can come up with. Please. Okay. Forgot about that. But yeah. This is also kind of a video I can just kind of sit back and make. Like I said, once again, because I've gotten good enough at this game to where I can just sort of play without thinking. But I just kind of want to make a chill video to come back to, because it's been, what, since February? Since I've made anything. And I enjoy editing to an extent, but editing just takes so long, and I'm finding I have less and less time with, like, college and stuff happening. So I just wanted to make, like, a lower effort video. Something that I wouldn't have to spend too much time on. Especially considering, DaVinci Resolve, the, editing software I use. It's free, but it is a monster on my CPU. Anytime I put a clip that's longer than, like, let's say 20 minutes in there, it has a fit and takes up 99% of my CPU. And that makes the video, like, getting a video up, that makes it longer. And then there's the fact that after that, I have to wait for the video to load into YouTube and all that. And I don't plan on doing really any editing, at least not on this first episode of this, just so I can sort of see what's happening. Please. Let's equip this. Fury of the Fallen is it's a decent charm from what I've heard. I don't really focus on meta charm usage in this game. It's there, I might as well have it, because it's the first one I got and everything. And I mean, it's not the worst to have. I don't plan on being at 1 health very often anyway. I forgot to explain what Steelsoul mode is. So, if you don't know what Steelsoul mode is, you unlock it part of the way through the game. I don't exactly remember how soon into the game you unlock it, but it's a mode in Hollow Knight that is permadeath, essentially. I haven't tried it out before. Okay. That happened. I haven't really tried it out before or anything. I just think I have enough for the map. Yeah, I do. Okay. It's not... At least that's what I think it is permadeath. I can't be entirely sure, because you saw me clear the save file at the start of the video. I'd actually hopped on Steelsoul earlier today before I wanted to record this. Ended up playing a lot more than I intended to, but I wanted to kind of see what the changes were. I should have died to kind of see how that worked, but I guess I didn't really think about that. But, this potential spam call. Hold on. This sucks. Let me answer this, just in case. You were speaking to him? No thanks, actually. That was a little weird. I only answered it because it's from Charlotte, and I kind of... I don't know, there might have been something... I shouldn't have said that city name. Shouldn't have. I'm gonna... Nah, it's fine. There's probably plenty of Charlottes. But just trying to make sure it wasn't anything I should be worried about. Some sort of... said it was a scientific survey. I didn't really care enough to get involved with that. I should be going to the stag station. But yeah, assuming Steelsoul mode is permadeath, I like it. Like, it just says no reviving. I don't know. Hate these things. Worst enemy in the game, and when they get upgraded towards end game, it gets worse because they shoot 3 instead of 1. Please, just reach him. But yeah, I love Hollow Knight. It's a really good game, and I feel like this is one of the like a game that I can just sit back and make some chiller content with. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I guess I'm just gonna have to see how far I can get in maybe an hour and a half or so. Just to, you know, just to have something up. Not just to have something up. Like, I say that like it's, oh, come on. I say that like I don't want to be making videos. I really do. I guess what I mean by that is I should be uploading more often. And I'm sure I'm going to be able to once I get, you know, further along in college. Like, when not even just further along. Summer's coming up soon. I've got about a month of school left, which is terrifying. Finals are not too far away, and that's spooky. But during the summer, I'll have more free time, and I'll be able to get a lot more stuff up, and that's something I'm really looking forward to. I just haven't had as much time as I would like. And uploading something unedited like this is not only fun for me, because as much as I enjoy editing, like I said, it takes a bunch of time, but it's fun to, it's good to just have something up. It's nice to know you're putting something out there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, I've got, what, 13 subscribers. You know, I'm getting, like, 13 subscribers is not a lot by any metric, but it's enough. I don't have to have, like, wide-reaching fame or anything. I'm fine with making content just for me. And if anybody happens to watch it, that's fine too. If I happen to get bigger, that's fine. I love this guy. Love this guy. One of my favorite characters in this game. Last Stag. The characters in this game are so good. I love this game a lot. Like, there's so much here. The design of the game, not even just in terms of, like, art and visual stuff, like, the design of the game itself. When I was playing this through normally, there was not a single time in this game where I died and it didn't feel fair. Unless you're counting Lost Kin. I hate Lost Kin. That was absolutely not fair. But it's just a lot of the, like, it's so well designed. There's a section of the game I'm gonna compliment a lot soon when I get to it, but I don't know, it's fun to, like, go back and look at how the game was designed, especially now considering I'm sort of trying to make my own game. No news on that front whatsoever. It's just I'm just putting that out there. Man, I'm running out of stuff to talk about already. This is insane. I could have swore I had more stuff to talk about than this. Wait a second. There you are. Oh no. Please. Okay. No! Don't fall! Okay. It's fine. It's all fine. I don't know. I plan on this to be a long-running series. I essentially want to play through this. I want to play through Steelsoul mode until I beat it. This attempt could run for who knows how. This attempt could run on for who knows how long. I hate myself for not noticing that. We could get, like, we could beat at episode 5 of this. Right, episode 5, I've gotten part of the way through the game at that point. Look at me. Look at me. See what I mean? I'm good at this game. But, I could have gotten so far in this game. We could get right to, like, final boss level. Like, we could fight the vessel. Which, okay, first off, first big thing I actually should have said this way earlier. Don't watch this series if you care anything about spoilers, because like I said, I'm just going to be saying whatever comes to mind, like, about this game. I don't have a trolley pass yet, I can't use that. So, if you don't want anything spoiled for this game, don't be here. Beat it, come back. Yeah, we'll fight Gro's mother. It's a simple enough boss. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, just beat yourself on the ceiling, that's fine. Please. Uh-oh. Okay. Simple enough. Simple enough. I am tackling this in a wildly, inefficient fashion, I'd imagine. Oh. Wouldn't it be funny if I just lost right here? But we won't. I'm better at the game than that. Oh, I can go ahead and get Sly. On my first playthrough of this game, I didn't come in here and get Sly until, like, pretty much end game. It's kind of crazy considering you were definitely supposed to get him earlier, like around this time. But I just never came this way. That's one of the things I like about Hollow Knight is there's not a set order that you have to tackle things. I can't get up there yet. This kind of sucks, but it's whatever. Like, the Grezmother is just like an optional first boss for you. Like, you don't have to fight that first. Normally, most of the time you go into that room with the big horn symbol on it, and you fight False Knight, I think is his name. We'll find out soon enough. We're gonna fight him this episode. Okay. Normally you go and you fight him first, but I just happen to be going that way. Because I have a loose set of goals that I want to do. But for the most part, I'm just wandering around aimlessly, doing what I can where I can. In terms of my goals for, like, this whole playthrough, I'm definitely not going to be getting, like, the good ending where you beat Radiance. Don't get angry at me about spoilers. Like I said, you shouldn't be here if you care about being spoiled, but I don't plan on beating Radiance, mostly because that boss is not something I can beat first try. Like, it took me so many tries. I think, no, the VOD's not up anymore. That was so long ago. I beat Radiance on stream. Can't go there yet. Okay. I beat Radiance on stream, and it took so long. That boss is something else. Which reminds me, one of my friends who was there when I beat Radiance suggested that I fight, I forget what it's called. It's a modded version of Radiance. I forget the exact name. You might know what I'm talking about, you might not. It's a version of Radiance that is designed to be unbeatable, but a bunch of, like, the more skilled people in the Hollow Knight community actually got together and beat it. And, like, there's a whole bunch of strategies you have to use and all this stuff, but he was like, oh, you should do this, it'll make, like, for a good stream series and a good, like, few videos. And I said, I watched it. I watched, like, a documentary on that version of Radiance, and I said, no thank you, because I'd already had so much trouble with just standard Radiance. And I've got to fight, I think it's called Absolute Radiance, that's in the God Home, that's like a second version. And I'm gonna have to fight that when I finally get through the, all the different boss rushes in God Home. And, like, I know that's going to take me so long, especially considering in God Home, you have to straight up start over a boss rush if you die. Which, that's gonna take me a long time, because none of the VOD of those, the God Home runs I've done aren't up either. But it took me 2 days to beat the second Pantheon, I think. Because, like I said, I might be good, but I'm not that good yet. See? Look, missed that. Look, see? I told you. But I don't know. I should really be saving up for the whispering, the whispering charm. The one that tells me where I am at all times. Because without, like, I had that equipped for my entire run of... I always forget those spawn things. I had that equipped for my entire standard run of Hollow Knight because without it, I am so likely to get lost. I have to see where I am on the map, otherwise I'm not gonna know where I am. I can't read a map normally. What do they think I am, a genius? Alright. Goals. Where should I be going? I should be going... I should go ahead and fight False Knight. That's what I should be doing, because I can fight False Knight, get the spell, get into the area that you need the spell for. So... let's see. It'll be shorter if I go around the bottom. I think I can get... yeah, I can. I can't wait until I get the Dash Master Charm. I keep dashing instinctively to try to get around faster, but I don't even know... no, I keep going this... yeah, this way. I don't even know... I don't remember where you even get that. It's been so long. Because I'd actually... the Hollow Knight save file that I beat, I actually played like 5 hours of Hollow Knight, and then I left it for like months because I'd just forgotten about it. And like I hadn't really wanted to come back to it yet, but then I saw it just kind of sitting there in my Steam library. And I was like, you know what, I should stop taking damage first off. First off, I need to play smarter. I thought I should probably, you know, beat this, because I really enjoyed what I played of it. I've heard so much good stuff about it. Like, where am I? I think if I keep going across the bottom and then I go up somewhere, I should be able to. But I'm glad I came back to it because I immediately played it daily and sank like 30 hours into it. Which I get, like 30 hours isn't a lot in a lot of senses. But it's a lot for me. I don't usually sink 30 hours into games. Unless they really captivate me. And Hollow Knight's actually one of the only games that I've tried to... I've been here already. It's actually only one of the only games that I've actually tried to fully complete. Most games, like, I don't really feel the desire to. I don't know where I am. I have no idea where I am. Okay, let's... so this room... what is... this is... okay, no. First things first, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna buy the Whisper Charm. The one that'll tell me where I am on the map. That way I can actually know where I'm going and what I should and should not be doing. But... what was I talking about? What was I talking about? I don't know. No, please. Okay. I was talking about... I can't remember. It's no use. Train of thought's gone now. Gone. Vanished into thin air. Derailed. Whatever you want to call it. lost to time. That's something to talk about. Let's get that. Let's buy the Whisper Charm. Here we go. Now let's actually equip it this time, because when I sort of did a test run of Steelsoul mode, I completely forgot to equip that charm in the first place. Oh, Sly's back. We might as well check. Probably can't buy anything, but I think he gives me something as a reward. No, he doesn't give me anything. Stalwart Shell. Oh, I'm gonna need that later. That's part of the reason why it was so bad that I didn't get Sly early game like I was supposed to on my standard run, was because there were a bunch of like dark areas that I had no idea how to get through, because they're just like pitch black, you can't see. And I was like, well, there's got to be like a lantern or like a light or something that I can unlock that I can use to see. And it took me like I looked everywhere. I ended up having to like look it up, which is something I didn't want to do in Hollow Knight, but it's something I did frequently after I sort of got lost there. And turns out I had to just go get Sly, because I even had Sly's like key to his storeroom. But I just never gone and got him. Please. No! Well, that's that's unfortunate. Dang. Did not die there on my test run. I should have recorded the test run. Well, let's try it again. That's embarrassing. That's incredibly embarrassing. I shouldn't have died there. But hey, shame on me for applauding my skill early on in the run. That's a lesson. Never brag on yourself too much. Remember that. I don't know. So let's try this all over again. That's what, 30 minutes down the drain? But okay, bright sides. I wasn't that far in the game. There's a geopile down here that I should get. I wasn't that far in the game. So what does it matter? Starting over from here, not a big deal. But that confirms it. I'm glad I didn't get hit by that. But that confirms my suspicions that this is indeed permadeath. If you die, that save file is just gone. So, that's that. No! So, okay, note to self. Be smarter when fighting that guy. I forgot he deals 2 damage per hit. I forgot I should be holding left right there because of that geopile that I never get that geopile. Let's go ahead and get Fury of the Small. It's not Fury of the Small. What is Fury of the Small from? This is Fury of the Fallen. Fury of the Small. Fury of the Small is a D&D thing. That's right. I think it's a goblin trait. Correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, I don't know. I think it's a goblin trait. It's either a goblin trait or a kobold trait, but I think kobold's a pack. I think kobold has a pack tactics trait. Oh, hey, there's something. Something I've not talked about before. I do play a lot of D&D. I don't think I've mentioned that on this channel yet. Which, I mean, you know what? It might be for good reason. Who knows? D&D's had a lot of weird controversies as of late. But hey, it's a fun game. If the one okay. Here's what I'll say about it. If you want to just do something with your friends, slap together a D&D campaign. Slap together a D&D campaign, play through it with them. Just have a good time. Like, it doesn't even have to be good. Me and my friends in high school, our first game of D&D, we weren't even entirely familiar on the rules. We had no idea how anything worked. We thought with armor class you would divide the damage by it, which is not how armor class works. I'm not going to explain how armor class actually works. That would definitely cement my place as a nerd and boring on YouTube. But there was that. We had no idea how skill checks works. We didn't know what balancing the game was. But part of me misses that era because you could still manage to tell a good story even though nothing was taken seriously. D&D is just a fun thing to do with your friends, and if you end up wanting to learn the rules of D&D and you look at it and you say, this is too much, that's fine. I have another recommendation. Monster of the Week. My absolute favorite tabletop RPG, because Monster of the Week it's so simple to grasp. Like, the people who wrote it, I forget what they're called. I'll have to remember that, probably mention it next video. But their rules are written so well because you can read. First off, the rule book's only like 200 pages as compared to D&D, where you have to like read essentially. It's just a shorter thing. It's shorter. The rules are all sort of easy to grasp. And my favorite thing about it is that the DM, or the keeper as they call it in Monster of the Week, they don't have to roll for anything at all. If you want to like make a D&D campaign story and you're turned off by the fact that like you've got to design your story around these mechanics, like you've got to, like, for instance, in D&D, you've got to design stuff around like skill checks, and you've got to. A lot of D&D is numbers based. Monster of the Week is entirely based off of your words. Like, I know, like, the whole thing in D&D is like, oh, what the DM says is law. In Monster of the Week, that's doubly true. Because if you say it happens, you don't have to, like. If you say it happens, it happens. And when it comes to the players, you don't ever have to roll against your players. The game is the game runs off of a 2d6 system, and it gives you like defined parameters off of whether or not something will succeed, fail, or partially succeed. Which I think is a little bit better than D&D's system of, if you want to have this if you want to have your players roll to see if this thing works in the campaign, that's like not explicitly stated in the book. That if it doesn't have a number assigned to it, where like, if it doesn't have a number assigned to it, you've got to sort of make it up on your own, which can be hard sometimes because there's going to be a lot of things you don't want your players to succeed, but your players might feel cheated if you make the check too hard. I don't know. I just really enjoy Monster of the Week. Seems like a more fun game to DM than D&D. It takes a special kind of person to want to be a DM in D&D. Because it's a lot of work. Especially if you want to run like your own custom campaign. Because D&D, I'll admit, it doesn't really seem built around running a custom like homebrew campaign with its own world and thing, even though that's what everybody does. Because it's more fun. It mostly seems built around running the, like, planned books it has. Which, I'm not here to judge or, you know, put you down if you enjoy running the pre-made stuff, but I really just don't enjoy the pre-made stuff. It's not my thing. Because, unlike running your own campaign, even though I said that's hard, to me, running a pre-made thing is harder because instead of thinking of something and you just have to know it, maybe you write it down to help you remember it, with that you actually have to read. You have to read and remember, because the thing about it is, you can't just read, like, the first session section. You can't just read that and go. You have to read this entire pre-written campaign in order for it to actually work out in the end. Because there's stuff you've got to know that you have to hint at. It's a big hassle. It's just a huge hassle. But hey, if it's your thing, go for it. I'm not, like I said, not here to put anybody down for what they enjoy. That was a nice little tangent. What else? What's next? Where am I going? Okay. This time, we're gonna go ahead and fight False Knight early. And I'm not gonna die to the big guy again. I'm gonna be smart about it. I'm gonna be smart, I'm gonna be intelligent, I'm gonna think. See, look at that. I knew that was coming. I don't know. Sure, I'll get the scrub. See, this is how you're supposed to fight him. Patience. Sorry, I had to focus for a second. And boom, look at that. We're almost, we can almost afford the charm. Where's a good place I can go? We might as well go into the mines. Interact with, forget their name? Cool NPC. Another one of the favorite NPCs. Look at them, they're singing. Myla's awesome. It's a little sad though. I'm not gonna spoil. We'll come back to that later about why Myla's so sad. But let's do. Oh yeah, I can't go down that way yet. I haven't unlocked the thingy, which kind of sucks because that means I can't just go straight down to False Knight and I have to take the long way around, but it's whatever. Nope. See, skillful, absolutely. I did it. I did that. I'm solely responsible for that. Wait a sec. No, this isn't Lost Night. False Night, I mean. False Nights, you fight the big guy. I don't know what this area is. I don't remember the starting area. Because, like, towards endgame, the starting area changes so much. I don't really remember how to navigate it this way. Oh, okay. I'm gonna show off. I'm gonna show off here. I'm gonna kill you, and then, so we take you, we bring you around. Jump. Nope, I messed it up. I messed it up. We're gonna have to start over on that, but just to exit the room real quick. I don't have the spell yet. I don't think spells break the jars anyway. I thought about just shooting the jar, but like I said, don't have the spell. But okay. Jumping way out of topic here, but the fun things about those big guys, the one, you know, the one I died to earlier, the fun part about them is that they're actually, I messed it up again. Fun part about them is they're actually preparing you for the False Knight boss fight. Because they teach you, like, they punish you essentially for not avoiding that big hammer strike, right? False Knight doesn't deal 2 damage on his, but that deals 2 damage to sort of, it's to deter you, it's to teach you patience, because False Knight has a similar style of attack to that. And then when they flop back and do that wave, that teaches you about the sort of wave attacks you'll see. Look at that. Look at me. I'm an expert. But it's stuff like that that's so cool to see about, you're being taught stuff about the game without even knowing it. Like in every game you play, there is stuff there that is teaching you and you don't even realize it. You won't realize it until like playing through the game a second time. And I think that's something cool to look at. I can't wait until I get my nail upgraded so I can, okay. I just go across the bottom, go up. We're gonna False Knight first, then we're gonna get Grud's Mother, and then we're gonna get Sly, because by then I'll have a bunch of Geo to buy stuff with, which I think I'm gonna stop buying stuff just so early, because I'm so conditioned to the normal game where you buy stuff, like you spend your Geo as soon as you can get it, because it works kind of similar to Dark Souls in that every time when you die, you have to go back to get your Geo. Okay. I thought I was gonna take damage there, sorry for that gasp, but every time you die, you've got to go back and get your stuff, and it's kind of annoying, so you spend it when you get it, just so you know, whenever you lose it, it's not that much. But with this, there's not really any point. I hear you. There's not really any point, because if you die, it's over. You couldn't spend it anyway. So, you know, like, no harm, no foul, and losing it. Alright, let's not die. Let's not die. Bop, 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 bop. And nope. That hit. Ooh, another little interesting tip. Forgot this was here. Oh yeah, I can't go this way yet. I gotta get the crystal dash before I can do that. The crystal dash is so far. Fun fact about the Lost Knight boss fight. Or not Lost Knight, False Knight. Fun fact about him. This... Let me get into the actual arena first. Okay, so this arena, right? That wall. This wall is breakable after he flops down the first time, and I think that's interesting because you don't have to fight him. He is completely and utterly skippable. See, look, there's that attack similar to the boss fight. Of course, the big guys didn't jump, but look, you get what I mean. It teaches you to sort of be wary of that little animation. Another fun fact about False Knight is that his health doesn't go down until that part right there. I walked. Be smart, Jonathan. Be smart. It's another fun fact. His health doesn't actually go down until you beat him directly, like in that little when the grub pops out. Which is, you know what he is. He's actually just a small little grub inside this big body, and that's like the whole thing about him. But you can essentially, if you wait, he'll get back in, and you can fight him for as long as you want. Not that I want to fight him for very long here, because, you know, I would love to see this run to the end this time. Okay, that wave. Then we beat him here. Look at that. Boss fight over. See, look at him. Wasn't tough after all. Oh, another fun fact. If you wait... Pretty sure anyway. Is it gonna happen? There we go. His mace was a bug. I shouldn't have done that. That feels mean. There's a lot of little details like that that you notice. Of course I noticed it because I watched a video, not because I played through this game a second time. But, alright, let's go get first spell of the game, so I can actually progress a little bit. This is a relaxing game. Like, after you've played it for a while and you, like, learn patience, that's a big thing about this game. You have to be patient. You have to be patient in order to beat it. Like, you've got to learn patterns and actually wait them out. Otherwise, it's just, you're not gonna have a fun time with this game. Alright, now we've got projectile-based attack. Ugh. Not gonna talk to him yet. I wonder if I get anything special for doing this while he's asleep. Okay, what else? Okay. What else can I talk about? I'll talk a little more about I'm gonna talk a little more about my YouTube channel. I doubt anybody really cares, but I'm sure you've noticed that the Deltarune Chapter 2 series isn't really being continued. That's partially because of my own choice. Like, I love Chapter 2. I love Deltarune. But that video didn't turn out how I wanted it to. I look back at it and I realize I probably should have just done a solo playthrough instead of grabbing a bunch of my friends to do it, which okay. for my friends watching this, I don't mean anything bad by this, but didn't really go how I wanted it to. There was a lot of noise. The game wasn't really a focus of it, which is what I wanted it to be. And I don't know, my plan right now for Deltarune is I definitely want Deltarune up on my channel. Like, I want to have the games that I enjoy and the games that I want, the games that I've played, the games that I love, essentially. I want them to be on my channel. I want them to have a spot. So my plan for Deltarune is to essentially wait until chapters 3, 4, and 5 come out. Or wait until they... Okay, I'll wait until the release date for those. I'll wait until that gets announced. And then what I'll do... is I'll play chapters 1 and 2, and I'll make that like a short little mini-series. I'll probably play like one chapter an episode, and of course I'm gonna have to edit those down because those chapters are kind of long. I rested on this bench 3 times just because I wanted to unequip this and equip this. But I'll come back to it. Like when chapters 3, 4, and 5 they get announced, that is when that's when I'll return. Then I can play chapters 1 and 2. I'll play those by myself so I can get the vision I imagine. And then when 3, 4, and 5 come out, I'll dedicate an episode to those. Because I'm gonna love it. I don't know if... I've seen a lot of the fake leaks, and I do enjoy those a lot. Even though they're sort of getting my hopes up about Mike as a character. Oh, okay. This is the part I was talking about like way earlier in the video, where I was gonna like brag on the game design a little bit. So, this is a breakable wall, right? And I don't think up until this point, I don't think you've really, as a player, you wouldn't have really noticed any breakable walls because you don't know what they look like, you don't know they're here, you're not really expecting there to be any. So what the developers did is they placed this little, I can't believe I fell. They placed that little geo pile right there, and you know to hit those, because you discover them like way early in the game. You hit them, you get money out of it, right? So that's like you hop over, and like you can't just hit it from distance. You gotta hop over here, and when you hit the geode pile, you're also hitting that secret wall. And I love that because that's a good way to sort of introduce the idea of breakable walls. And like they reward you with like an extra geo pile for it, but I don't know, it's so cool to me that like I said, they're teaching you things without you even realizing it. The more you play the games you love, the more you're going to look back at them and realize the developer was always holding your hand. As much as you think you figured out stuff by yourself, the developer was probably there the whole time. And I think that's something cool about games. I think I want to head back to Dirtmouth now. I'm sorry for ranting on about that little hidden wall in the geopile. I probably think it's a lot cooler than most people do. But I don't know. I've been watching a lot of sort of game design tip videos because like I said, I'm trying to sort of make a game of my own. So it's cool to see that like I'm gonna have to think about how I teach my players. And like, okay, part of the reason that the game does stuff like that, like placing stuff like that, it's to let you think you're figuring out stuff by yourself, because nobody Nobody likes being told something, really, I don't think. So like I don't know, it's a fun little thing. The developers are there and they're like, well, we can't just outright tell them about it. We gotta let them think they're figuring it out for themselves. I don't know, I think that's really cool. Buy all these pins so I can have markers on the map so I can know where stuff is, because like I said, I get lost very easily. Alright, let's equip that. Now I'll know where I'm going. Why don't we talk to him again? Yeah, talk about the stag station. Alright, Alright, goals. Goals. Let's go... Let's go get Sly. Might as well. I don't see any harm in it. I might have to look up the mask shard locations, because if there's one thing I want to have, it is a lot of health. Like, that is the one thing I am going to want in this run, is a lot of health to sort of draw off of. That way I can... I'm also going to have to start recognizing the places and bosses where I can heal more often. Yeah, I know you're there. I don't know, I'm doing this for, like, sort of the same reason I took up speedrunning Super Mario 64. To sort of... It's to play a game... It's to experience a game in a different way. Because I don't even... I've not put a single one of my 64 runs on. I do 16-star runs, like, just in my free time. Because it's fun to do. I played Super Mario 64 so much when I was little on my dad and my aunt's old N64 at my grandma's house. And, like, I'd beaten it so many times over that I wanted a new way to look at it. And at first I was one of those people who absolutely hated speedrunning, and, like, speedrunners, like, despised them. Because it's like, they're playing the game in an unintended way, they're using glitches. But, like, the more I looked at it, and, like, I had a huge problem with a lot of them saying, this game sucks, when, like, a glitch didn't work out for them, because I was like, hey, they're saying the game sucks because it's doing what it's intended to do, look at them. But the more I thought about it, the more I came around to eventually doing a 16-star run and actually, like, watching speedrunning in my free time. Okay, I've got the 3 that I wanted to get so far. Because if you've never thought about speedrunning, just think about just taking up a speedrun of, like, a game you like. You know, it doesn't have to be too complicated. I read an article one time about, like... Not an article. I sort of, when I was Googling it about speedrunning, because I'd gotten bored about Super Mario 64, the best game to speedrun, according to some speedrunner who said this, I don't know, is a game that you, like, love. A game that you know the ins and outs of. Something that you've played a lot. Something that you've played a lot, something that you would be fine with sinking a few more hours into. You know, just so you can get a different view on it. Because after, like, playing Super Mario 64 and, like, doing a 16-star speedrun, I look at the game completely differently. I bet I can do this. Look at that. Look at that. That's not even intended. You're not even supposed to do that at this point in the game. You're supposed to have the Mantis Claw for that. Okay, let's be less stupid this time and look down a second time. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh boy. I really hope I am. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I've made a horrible mistake. Colossal. I don't want to fight the Moloch. Colossal mistake. Oh no. Oh, this is gonna suck. I don't have the dash yet. Please tell me I can get out of here. I can get out of here, right? Right? Oh. I don't know how I did that so perfectly the first time. No! Okay, okay, it's fine. Crisis averted. That's fun. Yeah, no, Moloch is not a boss that I want to take on without at least Dash Master. Like, the Wraith Dash is preferred for me, because that gives me invincibility frames, but I am definitely not fighting him without normal dash. At least. Okay. Please don't bother me. Let's think about this. So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the second area. I completely forgot I was trying to go get Sly. I don't even remember how I got there the first time. I was just wandering aimlessly and found it. Okay, let's unlock this. Let's unlock the forest area, and then we'll go get Sly. You gotta open up first, I forgot. If I die to something that's not even a boss, am I really a good player? The answer is no. I can't chop that. Okay. Okay. Sly. Let's okay. So I gotta drop down at least a little further. If I am remembering correctly, if we go all the way to the right and then down, or I go up a little bit and to the right, that's how I get Sly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut across here. It'll be easier, it's a little faster. It'll be fine. Man. Oh, his body's gone. Where did that go? We may or may not do that early, not early. We may or may not do that later in the game. Don't jump at me. Don't jump at me. Oh, that reminds me of another late game quest that's like my least favorite and one that I still haven't done. I forgot you're here. Oh yeah, late game quests that I absolutely despise. It gives you a mask shard for doing it, and honestly, that is not worth what they put you through. So you find this little area on like far right side of the map, right? And like it's this person, and they're like, "Oh, take this flower to here. Take this flower to here." And the place where you need to take the flower is completely opposite side of the map. Completely opposite. And initially you think, oh, that's fine. Because by then you've unlocked You've done like a ton of fast travel stuff. You've done the stagways, you've done the tram. You're like, oh, I can easily do that. There's a stagway like right there. Come to find out, no. If you ride a stagway or a tram, the flower breaks. Which, first off, what do you mean the flower breaks? Second, that is the most sadistic example of like development I've ever seen. Because why would you put a player through that? Like, oh, another thing I forgot to mention. You can't die. Can't die with a flower either. Otherwise the flower breaks and you have to go back and get another one and start again. And it's a task that is not worth a mask shard. Like, I get it. Mask shard is it's gonna give you health. It's gonna give you like more health to dig off of, but for how hard that is and how carefully you have to play. No, hold on. I don't even think it's if you die. I think if you take damage at all, the flower breaks. Which is definitely not worth it. Alright, Gross Mother time. Why did you do the thing? Do the zigzag thing, please. Or just die. That took care of a good chunk of them. Okay. Ooh. No, I'm not getting in there yet. It's not anything I can jump off of, is there? Pogoing is a fun little mechanic. I like it. Alright, now we've got Sly. Now the goal is to sort of go and buy some stuff from him. I think I might buy a mask shard off him. That might be a good thing, because like I said, I want a lot of health for this. Stop it. Thank you. What do we got? What's this way? I forget what this way is. What is... Ah, it's this elevator that I can't use yet. Okay. I don't know what that noise was. Okay, Stagway. Dirt Mouth. I was about to ask myself why I keep resting on benches. Because, like I said, like, I get if I was missing health, I would. But, like, if it's permadeath, you don't really need a place to respawn. But you use it to update your map, you use it to restore health. It's a good way to restore, like, just a massive amount of health. But, so there is a point, at least. Also saves your progress. Alright. Sly moment. Biomask shard. I don't know if I can afford a full mask. No, I definitely can't. I'm gonna buy one of these. Because I think later on, I think there will be a use for them. Or at least there would have been. I don't know, because here, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Oh, I probably could have afforded the simple key. I definitely could have unlocked this already. If you don't know, there's an NPC in here in the normal thing. I forget. I think their name is Genie, something. I don't know, but you give them rancid eggs and they summon your shade, which is like your shade, which is like the it's like a spot. It's like in Dark Souls where you collect your souls from the spot. It's the easiest comparison I had to make. Don't yell at me. But here you have to like fight it or whatever. But it summons it there so you don't have to go get it. This mode there's no shade. Cause, you know, you die, game over. Cause you die, it's over, there's no coming back to anything. So I don't know if he'll still have a point. I don't know if it'll be a different. I'm kind of hoping he might allow me to buy extra lives. I think that would be awesome. I think it would be awesome if he would let me buy some extra lives. But my hopes are probably unfounded. Alright. I'm trying to think. It's running starting to get to a good place where I'd like to end the video. Let's think about a stopping point. What's a good stopping point I could get to? Says there's something down here. There's no entrance down here. Maybe it opens up later. I don't know. Oh, I'm not. Oh, it's that way. That's right. But it's a good. Didn't mean to do that. I don't think I'm gonna put an outro on this video. It's not. I didn't have a follow up to that. It's just what I think. I don't think this needs one. I want it to just be, you know, chill thing. I might put in that, and I really don't want to run this through an editor. Because, like, editing's fun. The rendering part of editing sucks. Sucks so bad, because to give you an idea, even if I just ran this through an editor to like take out bits and pieces, to just take out a few bits, and throw my like outro on, that would take like 20-30 minutes of rendering, and most of it's probably because my computer is bad, but part of it's I don't think DaVinci is optimized very well, and it's free, so beggars can't be choosers or whatever. But if anybody who sees this, if you have tips on how to make DaVinci nice to me, and like how I can make it not take 30 minutes to render a video and not use 99% of my CPU when I drop a video in there to edit, that would be great. Like, even if it's just update from 16 to 17. I don't think I mentioned that I'm using 16, but I've been too lazy to update it because I have a bad track record with DaVinci of updating. The reason I've been on 16 for so long, 17's been out for a long time, but the reason I've been on 16 for so long is because every time, without fail, that I try to update it to 17, it doesn't, like, install right and won't run. and I just can't believe this. I don't want to have to go through all of that again. Oh, these guys. These guys are awesome. Now this. No, thank you. You explode. Yeah. It's just not something I want to have to spend time on. Like, to try to figure out what installed incorrectly, what's not working. Man. Though, I tried using, can't talk. I tried using Wondershare Filmora, which I loved it. I loved Filmora. It didn't eat my CPU. It didn't eat my CPU. It took like 5 minutes to render a video that I was working on it. It's actually the most recent Spooky Games video. But it took it like 5 minutes to render that. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. It's not entirely free. Come to find out, after I got done editing and everything, there was a big nasty watermark that was just plastered across my video. And Filmora said, hey, pay for our thing to get the watermark off. To which I responded, no Filmora, I'm broke. I can't pay for an editor. I can't pay for a video editor right now. So that kind of sucked. And the funny thing was, like, my friend who suggested it knew. He knew. Oh, there's Hornet. Can I? Nah, can't make that jump yet. Excuse me. Alright. Another thing. If anybody has a better video editor a better video editor that they use, like, not better, but a video editor that's like free and is better optimized than DaVinci, that would be awesome. That would be awesome if you could tell me in the comments a video editor that would be better. But it's whatever. Okay, speaking of the Spooky Games video, I'm sort of thinking of putting an end to that series for a few reasons. Number one, they were fun to make at first, but the more I made them, the less fun they got to make. Because I found, like, not a lot of the games I play on there scare me as much as I would like them to. I walked into that. They don't really... Very rarely is there a real moment... Okay. Clarify. There are some times where I got scared in those videos, yes, and there were definitely times where I was uneasy. But there was not really... I don't know. Horror games are so hard to make. There's spikes down there. Stop playing stupidly. Horror games are so hard to make because, like, fear is such a subjective thing that, you know, if you make something, it's not going to be scary to everybody. But I'm thinking of putting an end to that series just because not a lot of the games are scaring me as much as I thought they would. You kind of have to... A lot of the ways you get games for those videos is you go digging on itch.io, which... Say what you will about how, like, good... Say what you will about indie horror games or whatever. Like, you can think they're good, you can think they're bad, I don't care. The one thing I can say for certain is that I think they've negatively impacted the library of like the library of itch.io, because you hop on there, the front page is just entirely indie horror games now. And, you know, it makes it harder to look at other projects that I might be interested in, because I have to scroll through mountains of indie horror games. Like I said, I'm not here to sort of judge those developers or put them down, or like, I'm not here to put anybody down for what you choose to make in your games, in your, like, in your journey to make games. Make the games you want to make. But it's an oversaturated market right now. And I don't know, I'd like to see some variety in what you can see on the front page of itch now. But it's whatever. Indie horror games are kind of becoming a lot more stagnant to me now too. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna put that series at least on hold. Not like it was. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. It wasn't really a original series to begin with anyway. The very first joke I made in that series revolved around countless other YouTubers already doing it. But I mostly made it because I thought it was something that I would love to make. But I don't know, I don't really see it being part of my brand, what have you now. Ah, the Chargers. These things are annoying to fight without a dash, because... Oh! I forgot you could do that. But yeah. I just don't see that becoming part of my brand now. If I'm being completely and utterly honest, those little horror game videos were starting to be a chore to make. I think I'm gonna... If I don't completely scrap the series, which I don't plan on completely scrapping it, because part of me still enjoys a lot of those games. I do have fun, a lot of the games in there, but I think I'm gonna put it on hold. I don't think I'm gonna be making as many as I thought I would be, because I don't want to be a horror game branded YouTuber. That's another thing I've struggled a lot with in sort of figuring out what I want to do with my YouTube is, like, brand. Because, like it or not, every YouTuber has a brand. If I had a better capture card, I would probably be... if I had a better capture card, I would be making so much more Nintendo-oriented content, it would be unreal. But I don't have a good capture card, and it has bad input delay when I put it through OBS, which, if anybody has any idea how to, like, make a capture card, like, not run through OBS, because I know OBS is probably all of the input delay, but I just can't run it. I don't know how to run it through anything else. So if anybody has an idea of how to run a capture card through something else, that would be awesome. But, you know, I would love to make Nintendo content. Nintendo's like my favorite video game. Okay, hold on. Let me put myself on hold there. Not my favorite video game company. They make my favorite games. Company's kind of... I don't know what this is. Is this bad? Is this a bad zone? Yeah, no, Nintendo makes my favorite games. They are not a very good company. I had to check the time. We do not have enough time for me to start ranting about my opinions on Nintendo and how they handle their IP and how they handle their music. We don't have time for that, because if I started talking about that now, that would be a second video. It's a topic I'm not gonna say I'm gonna save it for next time. I'll talk about whatever comes to my brain next time, and that very well might. It's something I think about a lot. I at least want to say free Gilva, not Gilva, free Giva Center, which I don't guess that's like that's not a thing that's going to happen. I'm gonna get to this bench, and I think I'm gonna end the video because we're almost in an hour 30, and that's really where I saw myself cutting myself off. But this might get views. It might not. I hope at least my friends and my family watch it. By the way, let me pay the toll here and get this bench. But yeah. I think I want to talk a little bit more. Yeah, I hope at least my family and my friends are watching. If I'm honest, those are the only people I really care about watching my content right now. I would love to build like a small little community. Like my goal for YouTube is it's not to get famous first off. My goal is not to get any level of fame. My goal is just to have a creative outlet that I can enjoy putting time into. It's the same reason I'm making a game, because I love games. I want to make games. I should have looked at the floor. I don't know. I'm doing YouTube to have just a creative outlet for me to do stuff, and I think this sort of content is something I should do a lot more with that, because this is chill, it's nice, I get a chance to talk. It's better than just sort of thinking these things in my head all day. It's a nice vent. It's a nice vent. I don't intend on coming on here to sort of vent negative things. I wanna... Vent's a word that has like sort of a charge with like dispelling negative emotions. Let's not call it a vent. Let's call it a... Just call it what it is, an outlet. It's just an outlet. I'm just here to have fun. Have fun, talk. Maybe people will listen. Who knows? But it's whatever. My goal for here is not to be famous in any capacity, but I'll admit I would not be opposed to have just a small little community. If I peak at a couple hundred, that's fine. That's a community that I can sort of I wonder if a lot of YouTubers miss when they were smaller, because the bigger you get, the less in touch you can be with your community, I feel like. Because, like, I watch a lot of Markiplier, I watch a lot of Jacksepticeye, and those guys are huge. And I just... Yo, you're gonna get up. Oh, no. Mistake, 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 mistake. Okay, it's fine. It's fine, actually. It's fine. But anyway, Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, those guys are so big. And I legitimately wonder if they miss having that small little community that they could interact with. Because now they're up in like the millions of subscribers, and that's way too many people. Like, one of my favorite music artists that does like remixes of Nintendo music and stuff is Kumu. You probably may have heard of them, you may not. If you haven't, go check them out, please. It's it's QUMU. They're a great musical artist. They're really talented, but one of my favorite things about them is that, like, they have such a small community that they can reply to every comment. Like, I can say that I have interacted with them in a comment section. Which is not something you can say about a lot of bigger YouTubers. And, like, I know there's all that stuff about, like, parasocial relationships, and these people are not your friends. They're strangers on the internet. They don't know you. You don't know them. And, like, I get all of that. But at the same time, having a small community just seems like a lot of fun. Just having a big group of people. But like I said, it's whatever. Okay, no. Here's a good ending spot. Here's a good ending spot. We'll save him. Even though Zote's like a sort of an annoying character to me, we'll save Zote. That there is actually an achievement for leaving Zote to die. I probably should have done that because I do want to get all the achievements for this game at some point. But it's whatever. We're too late in it now. I can't just die and reset the thing. Dying will reset my whole save file. Let's not die to the easy boss, please. Alright, let's talk to Zote. There we go. It's Zote the Mighty. Yeah, right. You fight him in the Colosseum later and he's a pushover. Ugh. I don't like him, but I don't want him to die. Okay. I'm gonna get back to the bench off camera. I'm gonna leave this episode here. You know what? Have a nice day, have a nice night, depending on your time zone. Goodbye.